I'm Alex Sabat, and I wrote and directed Seed.
It was bad. Everything went wrong and I hated it. I quit.
Well, it all started when me and Kirk Laird, our executive producer, were trying to gross out Rodney Cox, who plays Jim in the movie. We started with a couple of different ideas that ended up becoming the Seed to Seed. Boom.
Alex came to me with this kind of bizarre idea. I've kind of told myself that I wasn't going to do a horror film.
Before I was offered this part, I swore to myself that I would never be in a horror film. The opportunity came, and I could hold my prejudice, be like, no, or just like take an adventurous step and see what it had to offer.
I buckled and I was like, you know what, if we're gonna do this, let's do this and let's do it for real.
So we rented gear from Trigger Happy Productions, which included lights and external power.
We went through all the steps of creating a professional film production. There's not a lot of opportunities for UK students to be able to be on set.
This was kind of like some happy marriage between like a full production set, which I've been a PA on before, and a student production set.
I've seen like footage before of like making movies, and it always looks like really weird because it doesn't look anything at all like it is when it's finished. And that's what I was thinking of when we were actually making it. I was like, if somebody was filming this right now, it would look exactly like that.
I had a lot of really awesome people helping me out every step of the way, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Kevin Reifert was our camera operator. I threw him into using the C100.
The C100 Mark II, it's a great camera. I like it. It's very modular. Every setting is exactly how you'd want it. Very specific. There's buttons for each individual thing, so you don't have to go through menus and try and remember what name something's under to find it.
He was always trying to look for different angles, and he'd come to me several times and say, hey, what if we got an angle kind of like this? I think this looks better. And we got to consult a lot, like one-on-one, and I think that was very important.
Eric is probably the most experienced guy on that set. He would keep everything moving. He was pretty much the only person who had the shot list on him at all times. When we weren't quite moving as fast as we needed to move, he would sit there and just do the math on the shot list while I'm just sitting there freaking out in the corner.
The director of photography was definitely a more hands-on director of photography. What I really liked about him was the fact that he would ask for inputs. Definitely not arrogant, definitely just trying to get the best shot, the best everything for everyone.
Lighting and camera movement was, my main thing. Position the cameras in ways that, complemented the actors. We really wanted to pull away from the shaky cam style of like horror filmmaking and kind of bring back more of like an 80s feel, like where there's not as many cuts, there's not as many gotcha moments, it's more of a, suspenseful experience.
The first person on set, day one, was Spencer, our makeup artist for Pumpkin and for Jordy's character.
Honestly, I really did enjoy sitting down and having the makeup applied. That was really cool.
She made an amazing prosthetic for Brian to wear. Could not have been more relaxed and more professional.
If I had known ahead of time, I would have cut my hair. They had to tear some of the mask in order to get it over my head, and if I didn't have all this hair, it would have just popped right on with no problems.
I could not have been more excited and more terrified. Day one, first shot.
So we actually shot the last shot first. The last shot was the most complicated as far as I was concerned, as far as trying to get everything in a small room.
I am sitting there kind of wondering what I should be doing, and Eric walks over to me and hands me a little LED screen that shows me what the camera is seeing, and I'm like, okay, I got this now.
We set up, tracks of PVC pipe and then had our dolly, and we were operating on a dolly that was about twice as big as we needed for the room.
I'm even forgetting to yell cut or even action.
So, had 3 or 4 people all making sure we weren't gonna knock a window out or break a chandelier.
That feeling of just like, what have we started, was so amazing.
How the first shot of the night go?
Went great. Nailed it.
The best shot, the most complicated shot, I hope.
The first night we kind of experienced the cold and what it was meaning to actually shoot a film on the scale that we were trying to shoot at.
The biggest issue that we had to run into was the cold.
Worst thing? Oh man, that'd have to be either Jamie or the cold.
Everybody was like layered up to the max.
One layer, then another layer, then a Carhartt, then a beanie, and my beard would freeze.
I don't have to explain to you that when it's 3 o'clock in the morning at 20-degree weather, all you can really think about is getting in your bed and staying warm.
We pretty much just picked the worst conditions to start our first project.
You know, operating cameras in the low digits, single digits of temperature is just never easy.
And there's frost on the ground.
Laying on the ground when it's like, I don't know how cold it was, like 2 degrees or something. Because I had to lay there for like 10 or 15 minutes. You guys are doing all your like moving stuff around and I'm just laying on the ground.
Keep the cameras clean, keep them safe, get the lenses swapped out in the dark outside in the cold.
And it's like, okay.
You have to just remind yourself and look at everyone else who's out there doing the exact same thing you're doing, and that made it that much easier.
The third night we shot at a barn, and the barn had absolutely no power.
The barn we were filming at probably hasn't had anybody in it in a decade.
So we had to power lights inside the barn. We primarily did that with battery-powered LEDs.
Eric and Kevin really put their heads together and made that work for our scenes.
Problems that come up you don't really learn about in class. You can't really learn why when you hook up a light the exact way it's supposed to be hooked up, it doesn't turn on.
Every time we hit some speed bump, we had everybody trying to figure out what to do, and that was really awesome. When it was just up to me, I was doing what I know best, which is just the characters of the script that I wrote.
He pulled out the characteristics of the cast that was there pretty fast, so that was a really good eye.
For the play I was in last year, that director basically like told me, this is how you've got to do this thing. This is how it's gonna be, and like he's a really experienced director with like plays and stuff. So working with Alex as this being like his first time directing, I noticed he was really like laid back.
I would talk to all my actors about their motivation, and then I would let everyone else just do their job.
It's definitely kind of surreal. There's like all these people here and they just want to like, you know, see us do our like acting thing.
I've not been in a situation where there's been so many people willing to help out and active and to get the job done with such unity and driven purpose of creating.
It was really cool to see a bunch of people come together, and literally money was not there.
This one was different in the fact that like nobody had anything to gain from the project except the experience with each other.
Everyone that was there wanted to be there and wanted to donate their time and to make something awesome.
Just to illustrate how awesome it was to work with these people, the second and third nights that we shot, there was a production sandwiched in between them. Eric and Jamie and I had like an aggregated 24 hours total on set in 2 days. So we were pretty tired for working, but we were not really tired for working with each other, and there's no conflict or anything.
It's my first time being part of a film at the University of Kentucky, so it was very enjoyable, it was very professional, and I'm excited for the next one.
Seeing how everything comes together, seeing how things are run. You know, when you first get there, you have no clue what's going on. You don't know who knows what's going on. Everyone's just trying to figure it out all together. But I think we were all coming together. I think this was kind of most everybody's first big project like this.
Definitely more of an appreciation for like the scheduling and like the actual work it takes to make everything line up.
I think the takeaway is that like through teamwork and through, you know, accomplishing a common goal, like we can all like get better.
Suddenly this short horror film idea becomes a huge accomplishment.
With the amount of stuff that we had to go through to get Seed done, which was just 3 days of shooting, 10-page script, we had literally won the World Series of local Lexington filmmaking.
Looking good. My name's Kirk Laird. I'm the manager of the Media Depot, and I was pretty deeply involved with... Oh, I gotta go.
I regret what I said earlier.